fall asleep.
It's a little dark in here right now, so we've got a nice service light button over here on my right that I can push and lighten this up here for us so we can get a better look at stuff. But look over here on my right, I'll just remove this one cover. Right here under this cover is our fuse panel now. You guys all remember the 7000 series machines we've had a lot of fuses, 3 different levels, lots of fuses, lots of relays. So in here's our fuse panel now. All our fuses are underneath this cover on the machine. Move my winch out of the way here real quick. We look over here in front of me. We've got, this is our inoculant dosing system. Instead of going into the cutter head like we have in the past, it is back here going in by the blower. So there's 2 lines here. The reason we have 2 lines, we have a high volume system and a low volume system. The low volume system is over here on the right. High volume tanks in the back, which we'll talk about a little bit later. These are both controlled from your display in the cab. You can run both at the same time individually and control the rates by that. What I've got sitting right here in front of me is our processor, our kernel processor, just like we've got sitting out here. So the way the processor is in this position right now, it is in the grass position. The grass chute is in place. If I want to go harvest corn, use my processor, I simply put my belts on over here on the right, take my crank handle, attach it here, and crank the processor down into position. You notice the processor is going down. As this goes down, the grass chute comes out, processor goes in. Take the processor back out, simply crank the handle the other way. You want to explain that a little more, Sean?
You bet. So as Shane just mentioned, or as we talked about earlier, when you change on a 7000 series machine and you go from hay to corn or vice versa, the KP either has to come in or out, right? So that's going to take X amount of time. Then you've got to crawl back underneath the machine with your grass door, right? And you got to hang it up there and put it in place. So that's going to require more time. And I'm laying on the ground. It's hot, it's dirty, because unfortunately in the field, the machine is not as clean as what this machine is today, okay? So the way the system works in the new 8000 series machine is the KP and the grass chute are hooked together and they're on a pendulum. So as Shane was cranking the handle, as the KP swings down into position to go into corn, the grass door comes out the front, okay? And it basically rides right underneath the cab. And there's, you can actually, when we get up close to the machine, you can look in there and you can actually see the arm. If we're going to go back to grass, we crank that handle out, the KP swings up and out, the grass door comes in and it's right into place. We now on the 8000 series machine can go from grass to corn or vice versa in less than 2 minutes. Okay? It's quick and it's fast.
So if we look at going ahead and removing this, since we're already in the upper position, I've got a few more components I need to remove. So I've already got the belts off. There's a bracket that I've already got removed that goes right here. There's one of these on each side. We need to remove our auto lube lines here and attach it over here on the side like we have in the past. We still need to do that. Right here's our electrical connectors for our motor, so we can disconnect those, and there are nice storage female connectors over on the left hand side here to hold these connectors in, to keep them from getting damaged, any water or anything like that in them, so it protects them there. So now I'm ready to pull this out, except for I got 2 bolts right here. I'll go ahead and remove these bolts. So now it's sitting in there, ready to come out. I'm going to bring my winch over here and get it hooked up quick.
Did you guys have an electric hoist on the 7000 series machine? Electric winch? Right? Raise and lower the KP in and out? Okay, it's the same similar type winch that we had on the 7000 series. But with the 8000 series, we've advanced that a little bit with a hoist. Okay? You can see the hoist sitting above Shane's head right there. That is an industry exclusive from John Deere. No other manufacturer has a hoist. Okay? If you're Kloss, Krone, New Holland, whoever it may be, for them to physically remove the KP from the machine, it has to be done at the shop. Okay? Because it requires an extra vehicle. Or that be a cherry picker, a fork truck, a tractor with a set of pallet forks, something of that nature to get the KP out of the machine. With the 8000 series machine, because you have the option to put the hoist and the winch together in the price pages, it is an option, and I would recommend you put it on every machine, that hoist will actually pick the KP up, as Shane's going to show you, and then we can actually swing it out the machine and drop it right to the ground. We can do it in the shop, we can do it in the field, we can do it wherever the customer so desires. Okay?
So I've got
What's
my
that?
winch
Hang on,
hooked
Shane.
up.
What's that?
So I've got my winch hooked up here.
Shane, hold on.
There's no other way you get it out, is there? If you don't have it on?
You not unless you take a fork truck and drive it right in the side of it, and then you wrap a chain or some type of strap around it, and then just pick it straight up out of there and pull it out.
It doesn't look like a very big space.
It's not, and the KP is not that. I mean, the KP is this size right here, so it's not huge, but it weighs a lot.
So I've got my winch all hooked up here. I'll take my winch control and we'll just bring it up. If you notice it's coming up, there's some on the back, it makes some contact here with some brackets, and we'll go ahead and lift it on up here. So in this position, the processor is physically loose. All we need to do now is continue to pick it on up, bring it out here and set it on the ground right outside the tire. So it's a pretty nice feature.
Yeah, so the KP is coming out. This is going to be backwards illustration, but the KP that's in the machine right now is coming out in this direction, but then when the hoist comes out, it swings this way. We don't have to physically turn the KP inside the service room. So we're talking about kernel processors. What are we going to offer? And for